to stop bad habits or negative addictions is the topic for today. And this teaching is meant for children, adolescents, and young adults. How to stop bad habits and negative addictions. That's the topic for today. So get your children out here, to watch this program so that they can learn a thing or two about how to overcome those bad habits and addictions. Okay. I'm so sorry for what happened this morning. I came on live briefly, and immediately I came on, I had an unexpected guest, and she's somebody I could not just, ignore. So I had to go off to attend to her, and that is why we are having this now. So if you are not connected live now, you can watch it. You can let your children watch this video later today. But I promise you something. There's no way your child will watch this video and they will not be truly transformed. This is true value for your growing children and also for your adolescents and young adults. Now let's go into why we are here. How to stop bad habits and negative addictions. What are habits? Habits are those things, or habits is that thing that you do frequently and consistently. It has become a part of you. Okay, that's habit. You have become so used to it that you find yourself doing it either consciously or subconsciously. You just find yourself doing it. That's an habit. Then what are addictions? Addictions are those things that an individual cannot stay without doing them for a period of time. They are similar, but there are some differences in both. With an addiction, you can't go a period of time without you finding yourself doing it. You just find out, oh, you're doing this again. It has become an addiction. And a lot of the complaints I get from parents, at the point of registering their children into my mentorship program is that, oh, please, my child tells lies a lot. My child is so lazy. My child is so rude. My child is so disobedient. My child doesn't comport himself. He just behaves in a mannerless fashion. I need your help, Dr. Taye Lulu, and all of that. And so this day I'm here to help you children. I'm here to give you hope. I'm here to let you know that you can overcome that bad habit. You can overcome that negative addiction. Okay? But before I go into why we are here today deeply, which is what are the ways to overcome bad habits and addictions, I want you to know something. Whenever a person tries to stop doing something bad, to begin to do something new, the temptation usually comes on stronger. The temptation to do that thing will come on stronger. Okay? It's just like somebody who is trying to kill a snake. When you hit that snake the first time, he tries to attack you more fiercely. He battles for his life. That is when you see it raising his head, be more vicious in its strategy for attack, because he knows that its life is about to be ended. So also is it when we are trying to say, you know what, I've been doing this before and I've come to a point of realization where I know that this is not good for me. This is not right for me. I need to stop it. I've come to that point. And when you come to that realization, you will see that the temptation to do it becomes stronger. And also, opportunities to do it will appear more. Opportunities for you to do that bad thing will be more. This is an intentional strategy from Satan. that you are trying to stop telling lies. You want to become a honest person. You want to stop being lazy. You want to become a hardworking person. You want to stop being disobedient. Now you want to be obedient and become a child that gives honor and respect to elders. You will see that the temptation to do it will be more fierce, and opportunities to do it will increase, because Satan is trying to draw you back. Satan wants you to remain in your rut. Okay? Another thing, I told you there are two things that will happen when somebody wants to stop doing bad things and they want to start doing the right things. The second thing that will happen is that you might likely feel an overwhelming sense of loss, as though you are losing or missing something good. Like, oh, something good is passing me by. An overwhelming sense of loss will overwhelm your heart. You feel as if, oh, you are missing out on something great. This is another strategy from Satan and hell. You are not missing something great. You are not missing something good. You have decided to stand straight. You have decided to stop doing the bad things and begin to do the good things as a matter of habit, because you are choosing to prioritize your future. You are deciding to choose your future over your, rottenness, the immorality, the addictions, the vices, and all. Okay, so these are the two things that will likely happen when you are trying to stop something bad and begin to do something good. The Bible says in Proverbs 22 verse 3, it says that a wise man recognizes evil from afar and he hides himself. A wise person, a smart person, recognizes evil from afar and quickly hides himself. What does this tell us? This tells us that as a smart child, you should be discerning to know when something is bad, or when something is good. You should be able to differentiate. The Good News version of that scripture. I'm sorry, that was the network. Let's go on. That was the network. The Good News version of Proverbs 22 verse 3 says, sensible people will see trouble coming and would avoid it, but the unthinking person will go ahead, will walk into it and regret it later. Okay? So you can stop bad habits. Yes, no matter how you must have become used to it, I want you to know that it is possible to stop. It is possible to overcome it. It is possible to do better. Okay? John 8 verse 32, it says, you shall know the truth and the truth will set you free. Okay, so the two things that will happen whenever a person tries to stop doing bad and begin to do good is that, number one, the temptation to do that bad thing will come on stronger, and it will seem as if more opportunities have been presented you, to keep doing that bad thing. Number two, you feel an overwhelming sense of loss, as though you are missing something great, as though you are being deprived, as if something good is passing you by. These are lies from Satan. When Satan tries to keep you in rottenness, when Satan wants you to continue doing bad, this is when you feel more tempted, and this is when you feel an overwhelming sense of loss. Okay, so bad habits can be overcome, so also can negative addictions be overcome. Okay, now, what is the solution to, okay, before I go into solutions, how do people come into bad habits? How do people come into bad habits? Number one, when you are not close to God, when you don't have a close relationship with God, you are likely going to be vulnerable to doing bad things, because your spiritual consciousness is low, is slack. The light there is dim. So it becomes easy for bad things to penetrate your heart, your mind. Okay, when you are not close to God. Number two, when you have bad friends. When you have bad friends, you are likely going to be, in a lot of rottenness because of the quality of friends you keep. The quality of your life sometimes is directly related to the quality of the friends you keep. And by friends, I mean your close friends. Your close friends, okay? I said first, a person can go into bad habits by not being close to God, also by bad friends. Number three, bad role modeling. Some children learn some bad habits from their parents. Some learn it from uncles and aunties staying in their house, you know. Number four, trend and vogue. The pull into trend and vogue. Because of social media, IT, internet, and all of that, a lot of the children and adolescents, you people are seeing a lot of things on social media now that puts pressure on you to want to conform. The things you see on social media, the things you watch on social media, in spite of the fact that a lot of those things are fake, they are not real, you buy it. You now mount pressure on yourself to become like that. You want to do what they are doing. You want to dress a certain way. You want to speak a certain way because you believe that is the trend and vogue. So a lot of the time, trend and vogue can also cause it. That is number four. Then number five, what causes bad habits? The environment, what you take into your ear gates and eye gates. Some of you, the programs you watch, the kind of books you read, and a lot of other factors can corrupt your mind. Your ears are gates, your eyes are gates. What comes into your eyes, what comes into your ears can either transform you uprightly or can make you to become decadent. So what kind of novels do you read? What kind of cartoons do you watch? What kind of TV programs do you watch? Okay, all these things either corrupt your mind or transform your mind productively. So these are the avenues through which a person can begin bad habits or through which a person can go down. Your life just begins to go on a downward spiral, because you have chosen to do the wrong things. Okay, so those are the ways, the means through which corruption can come in, bad habits can begin, negative addictions can tarry for a long time in the life of a child. Lots of parents, when they are registering their children with me for mentorship, they are usually so, exasperated. Oh, I'm so tired. The boy steals a lot. The girl tells lies a lot. She's too lazy. Blah, 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 blah. Now you are with Dr. Taye Lolu. You are with this mentor that God endorsed our voice for you children. And I want to teach you how you can overcome bad habits and negative addictions. Now, before I go on to the core of this teaching, I want you to know that change is not easy. Growth is uncomfortable. Even Apostle Paul said in the Bible, he said, different is what I desire to do. Different is what I find myself doing. Because by flesh, it becomes difficult to stop certain things, especially when you have become used to it. It becomes a serious struggle. But I want you to know that the real and actual victory is when you are actually able to overcome, when you are able to realize and stop those bad habits. Okay, so change will stretch you. Change will pull you out of your comfort zone. Growth is uncomfortable. Growth will make you feel as though you are losing. When you see your peer group and your friends, your contemporaries doing a lot of things that you are deciding not to do, sometimes it makes you feel as if you are losing something of value. You feel an overwhelming sense of loss, like I said earlier. But I want you to know that when you stand for something right, when you stand for what is proper, you are standing for God. And even if you are the only one standing, you are going to be victorious, because one with God is always a majority. So by the time you make up your mind today that those bad things I've been doing, those habits and addictions, I want to stop. I want you to know that there will be times when you will feel empty. There will be times when you will feel as though, am I sure I made the right decision? Am I not stupid like this? A lot of people are still having boyfriends in school now. They are still exchanging love letters amongst themselves. Why am I the odd one out? Am I a Jew? There's this slang students use when you are a Jew. That means you are not blended. You are not integrated into the fold. You are the exception. Don't worry. Don't mind them. It's cool to be uncool. It's very cool to be uncool. Even though you are not doing what they are doing, I want you to know that it's okay to be different. It's okay to be the exception. It's cool to be uncool. It's actually okay. Like I said, one with God is a majority. When you know that what I'm standing for is the proper thing, is the right thing, the Lord will partner with you and you will come out better than all those people. Okay, 5 years from now, 10 years from now, a lot of things that matter to you now will no longer matter. When you look back in insight, when you look back retrospectively at 10 years ago of your life, you will realize that a lot of things that used to matter, a lot of things you were bending over backward to achieve actually does not matter in life. And for those of you that are my mentees, I usually tell you in our private conversations that a lot of your parents have regrets. They have regrets they cannot share with you. They have regrets that they cannot tell you. Because some of them wished they took the advice of their parents. Some of them wish that they did not ignore the wise counsel of elders back then. But time is gone. It's gone. It's gone. Time is wasted. Many of them are a shadow of what they initially had the ambition to become. They are now a shadow of it. They were not able to realize it. Okay, so I don't want you to make the mistake some of your parents made. And that is why God Almighty Himself endorsed my voice for this purpose. Okay, so a lot of things are trending now. You see GSS students writing love letters in class, exchanging love letters and all of that. About 2 weeks ago, a girl just called me, I think her mommy showed her my video on Facebook and she just, she got my number and she called me and she told me she's in SS2. She said, Ma, something is happening with me. I said, what? She said, there's a boy in my school, he's in SS3. During break time, we usually go to a secret place to press ourselves. I said, press yourself, how? He said, the boy would just say, hug me and hold me. And when she hugs the boy will cling on to him. And sometimes the boy will just say, I just want to touch your chest. And the boy will just lay his hands on her bosom and, just doing stuffs. Although she assured me that she had not yet done anything deep with him. Okay, so a lot of things are happening among you children. These things they won't profit your future. There's a way that seems right to a man. It seems right. It seems cool. It seems the normal thing. But at the end is destruction. The end when your time is already wasted. The end when you can no longer go back to that phase and relive that phase. Live. You can no longer relive that phase. You have wasted your time. The basic unit of time is destiny. Time wasted is destiny wasted. The more you spend your time on unproductive things, you are gradually wasting your destiny. So stop those bad habits. Stop those addictions. And I'm here this morning to teach you how to do that. Practicable ways, realistic ways. A lot of the things I bring here, I don't go to any Google to Google anything on. No, it is God that inspires me. When I pray, God, I want to come out to Facebook to teach the children that are not in my mentorship program. Because not every parent can afford to, register their children into my virtual mentorship. That's why I come here once in a month to feed you also, so that you will not be left out. A lot of the things that matter to you now, they are not at all important. There's time and season for everything. A stitch in time saves 9. Let me give you a gist. Something happened in my house yesterday. My second son just brought out one of his shorts. It's a short he really likes to wear. And he said, Mommy, where is your sewing box? I said, my sewing box? What's up with my sewing box? He said, I want you to help me sew this my shorts. I said, what's wrong with your shorts? He now opened the underneath of the shorts. It had cut. I said, forget about these shorts now. Which one is patching and patch? He said, Mommy, I really love it. Adjust it for me. I really love it. You know, it's all this Arsenal, whatever. And he believes he loves Arsenal. So I collected it from him. I said, when these shorts began to cut, it was just a small hole. I saw it then. I remember there was a day I wanted to help you patch that cut. You said, Mommy, no, leave it. Don't worry, later. Now look at it. It has cut across the whole downside. There's no way I will patch this thing now and you won't look Humpty Dumpty in it. You know, so most times when you correct things when they are still, imagine, it's better than when they have, arisen, when they are already up there. Okay, so those habits, when you drop them now and you make up your mind, I don't want to do this thing again. Dr. Tayelolu has made me realize that bad habits will soil my future. It's just like pouring red oil on a white garment. It will soil it. But you can drop it now, because just like the prodigal son, he came to himself, a point of realization. He said, now I will go to my father. The prodigal son came to himself and he said, now I will go to my father. Okay, I will go to my father. So that God is a God of second chances. Okay, so I want you to take this one as a second chance, to your destiny today. So what are the ways to overcome bad habits or negative addictions? I gave it a formula. I'm a formula person. And I told you a lot of the things I do, they are divinely inspired. When I pick my pen and I pray, God just keeps pouring into me and I write. That's why a lot of things I teach children, you can't find it on any Google. Go and check. The things I teach the children, you can't see it on Google because I won't go there for anything. I wait for God to pour into me. Because I was minding my business. When he anointed me, he gave me this mantle for this call. This was not something I intended to do at all, but it was by divine appointment and ordainment. That is why everything I teach you children, if you can put it to practice, it will profit you most profoundly. Now, here is the formula. Have you been telling lies before? Have you been disobedient repeatedly? Have you been stealing? Have you been lazy? What is that thing that your loved ones have been complaining about? Okay, because one of the indices, one of the ways to know what you need to change about yourself is the feedback you get from your loved ones. Now, here is where it gets tacky. I'm not trying to tell you that you should listen to people's condemnation of you, or you should allow people to define you. No. And that was why I said your loved ones, like your parents, they can't deceive you. If your mommy has been telling you that you are lazy, it probably is true. There are some people that these people love me, and my goodness is also to their profits. People like your parents, okay? Sometimes best friends are good, but sometimes best friends are not even the best, indices to use for this, okay? So you identify those things that you are doing that are bad, those things that your loved ones have been complaining about, and you make up your mind you are going to stop. That you are going to start doing the opposite of that thing they've been complaining about. So here is my formula. RADAR. RADAR. What's the acronym? Capital R, D, A, capital R, capital R. Capital R, capital D, capital A, capital R, capital R. RADAR. RDARR. Now, let me tell you what each letter stands for. You are a child watching me. You are listening to this, from Dr. Tayelolu. Something is being stirred up in you that I need to do better with my life. I need to get more serious with my life. and you want to stop bad habits and negative addictions, that is the formula. So let this come to your mind every time. Radar. Dr. Taye Lolu taught me radar. R is realization, the first R. D is determination. A is action. R is routine. And the second R is resolutions. So RDARR, radar, is the formula to overcome any bad habits or addictions. And I got this formula by divine inspiration. Quote me. So now what does it mean? The first R is realization. Like you are realizing now by watching me that, oh, I think I'm lazy. Mommy has been saying I'm lazy. Sholape Onyanleju, you are too lazy. Or dad has been telling me that I tell lies a lot, that I need to stop. Or I've usually been referred to as a disobedient and disrespectful child. I need to stop that, the point of realization. So what the first R, realization, means basically is that you identify that thing you want to stop. You identify it. It's the phase of identification. Because until you know in what area you need adjustment, you are not going to become a better person. So this is a very crucial point. It impacts all of the other 4 factors. Because if you don't realize, if you don't identify in what area you have been bad, there's no way you will become good. So realization, the first R. Luke 15:18, the prodigal son came to himself. He came into a point of realization, a point of stark identification of his actual status, that, I'm the one that now wants to eat with swines. I'm the one that is now gradually becoming a beggar. The prodigal son came to himself. So you also should come to yourself. So the second letter in the acronym is determination. And the scripture for this is also Luke 15:18. The prodigal son came to himself, realization, and he said, determination, I will go to my father. That was determination. After realizing, he now determined, I want to go to my father. So after you have succeeded in identifying the exact thing you need to stop, the bad habits you need to stop, now you determine. I usually tell the children in my mentorship program, one of the things nobody can do for you is to make up your mind for you. You are the one that will make up your mind for yourself and by yourself. I can only advise you and guide you and teach you like this. I can't make up your mind for you. You are the one that will make up your mind for yourself. So the second letter is determination. And in determination, it involves going to God. So the God factor is integrated into determination, because the Bible says in John 15 verse 5, it says, without me, you can do nothing. Without me, Jesus speaking, you can't do anything without me. Apostle Paul said, I desire to do this, but I find myself doing this. It's a struggle, an internal struggle. So most times as human beings, when we make up our minds that, I don't want to do this again, this is what I want to start doing, I want to stop this, I want to start this. Although at that point, you might seem genuine and sincere, but you realize that over time, you are unable to keep up. You are unable to do it. You can't do it. Why? Flesh. So that is why I usually tell my mentees that whenever you make up your mind that you want to stop certain thing, you want to start doing certain thing, you must go to God intentionally. You must intentionally go to God. You must intentionally go to God. And we are going to be doing that before we end this program. We are going to go to God. Okay? my lips feels dry, so it's just lip balm. Okay, you are going to intentionally go to God and seek his help. The Bible says in Proverbs 3 verse 5 to 6, it says, trust in the Lord with all your heart, lean not on your own understanding, in all your ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct your path. In all your ways acknowledge him, and he will direct your path. That means the only way that God can lead you and help you and direct you is when you trust him in all your ways. Trust in the Lord with all your heart. Lean not on your own understanding, in all your ways. That means you must commit your ways into the hands of God before he can guide you. Okay, so whenever I usually tell my mentees, whenever I teach them anything, how to be obedient, how to show honor, the blessings of respect and all of that, I will tell them. Because as I'm teaching them, they'll say, oh yes, I want to respect my parents more. I want to show honor to elders more. I want to be more respectful. I will tell them, you need to take it to God. God, I need your help. This is where I was before, but I'm making up my mind today that I want to become like this. I no longer want to do that. I want to begin to do this. I need your help. I need your grace. I need your enablement, because without you, I will not be able to achieve it. Without your help, it will become impossible for me to accomplish this goodness or this uprightness. So when you go to God like that, he begins to release grace upon you. He begins to help you. You just find out that it becomes easy for you to be able to do these things. Okay? So I said number 1, realization. Letter number 2 in the acronym, determination. And I said determination includes committing, what you want to do into the hands of God. That God, I need your help. Oh. I need your assistance. I don't want to tell lies again. No. I don't want to be lazy again. I don't want to steal again. This urge and hunger to always speak what is not my own. God, please help me to stop. Help me. I'm only human. I'm flesh. Help me. I do this a lot as well. Because sometimes especially when I'm down, there are sometimes you just feel down and you just think about some things and, So when I'm like that, I just go to God. God, I love it when I'm joyous and happy. I don't know why I've been feeling sad since yesterday. Please, can you pour yourself into me? Can you help me to be happy? Can you stir up the rivers of joy in my spirit? There's nothing you cannot tell God. A lot of you, your parents or the reality around you has made you to think that prayer is boring. Prayer is the most interesting thing in the universe. Prayer is the most interesting thing because the one you are talking to, you can't see them, but yet they are the person is the most powerful. The force is the most powerful in heaven and on earth. And in spite of the fact that you cannot see that God, he can see you. That makes it exciting. It makes it interesting. It makes it enthralling. So prayer is easy. There's no child in my mentorship program that cannot pray. I have children as young as 6 years old in my mentorship program, and every one of them can pray. Every one of them. I teach them prayer. I teach them the act of prayer. I help them and enable them to love praying and even to study the word of God. So nothing is impossible if you put intentionality to it. So number 3 letter in the acronym, action. Action. Faith without works is dead. So you cannot just make up your mind and say that, oh, now I've made up my mind. I will not do this again. This is what I want to start doing now. If you do not add equivalent action to it, you won't be able to become that new person. So action entails living in the moment, Living, living in the moment. And what do I mean by living in the moment? For example, you wake up in the morning, you make up your mind, today I'm not going to tell any lie. Today, I'm not going to be lazy. Today, I'm not going to disobey my parents or argue with them. A lot of you children argue a lot. And a lot of you, there's this mannerless thing that you children do. Although my mentees have all stopped, but I want to help you children out here too. Stop arguing with your parents and stop cutting them short when they are speaking. A lot of you, when your parents are talking to you, you say, wait, I want to say something. Hold on, let me say my own. It's very rude. Stop it. When an adult is talking to you and you want to give your opinion, you ask them politely, are you done, please? Am I allowed to speak? Or mommy, can I talk now? Dad, is it okay if I say something? That's the way a courteous child should behave. Not, wait, daddy, no, I want to say my own. Wait, let me talk. No, don't do that anymore, please. Don't do it. Okay, so with action, you are living in the moment. You are taking a step at a time, because that is how you'll be able to monitor your progress. When a person is already swamped in bad habits, they need to take deliberate little steps until good habits are formed through them. Okay, because there's a way those bad habits were formed, so also can good habits be formed. All right, so actions. I will stop arguing with my parents. Whenever I'm asked to do anything, I won't argue. I won't frown my face. I won't stamp my foot on the ground. I won't postpone it till later. I will do it immediately and with gladness. So when you are putting action to what you have determined. You have determined to be better. You are determined to be a good person, a better person. Now you are putting action to that effect. Okay, so that's action. So with action, you set targets, you live in the moment, okay, and you take one step at a time. Don't rush. I told you change is not easy. Growth is not easy. It will stretch you. It will pull you out of your comfort zone. It will get very uncomfortable, but you have to be dogged. You have to persist. There's a way I got to this pedestal I'm on. Doggedness, focus, resilience, diligence. And that's where I'm appearing. That's why I'm appearing on this pedestal now. This program I'm doing will be 3 years by August. Yes, I started 2021, raising the bar. It's going to be 3 years by August 22nd. I pray that the Lord preserves my life till that day and beyond. Probably I'm going to have about 3 sessions for free for you children out here. Morning, afternoon, and evening, back to back. Okay, I'm going to feed you seriously that day to celebrate my 3 years in ministry. Okay, or if God inspires me to do something else, I would also do it without reserve. So RDARR, radar, realization, determination, action, routine is the first letter in the acronym. Routine. Because you did something, that's your bad habit that you formed, that negative addiction that you formed. It was because you did something bad frequently and consistently. You kept doing it until you became used to it. And when you became used to it, it's progressed to become an addiction that you cannot go for a period of time without doing it. Okay, so also can you form good habits by routine. And that is why I told you in the previous letter in the acronym action that you take one day at a time. Today, I don't want to tell lies. Today, I will not pick anything that is not my own, or I will not take anything without seeking the permission of the owner or of my parents. That is how to stop stealing. So the more you are taking one day at a time, doing that consistently, you are already forming good habits. By routine, you are forming good habits gradually until it will become good, addiction. Although I don't think there's anything such as good addiction, good habits. Okay, good habits. The direct opposite of the bad one can happen also by routine. So you make sure that as you are doing it today, you won't say, oh, tomorrow, let me just be myself today, Jare. After all, yesterday, I was not lazy or true. After all, yesterday, I didn't tell any lie, I didn't steal. today let me just be myself. No, don't do that. Be consistent. The more you are saying, I want to be myself, Satan is drawing you back into that thing. And if Satan succeeds in drawing you back, it will become worse. It will get worse. It will get worse. Okay, so the next R is resolutions. That is the last R. Radar. How do I stop bad habits or addictions? Radar. And there's a formula and strategy that I taught my mentees. Please, I'm sorry, I want to stretch. I'm feeling tired. There's a formula and strategy that I taught my mentees. Most times when I teach them new things, I will ask them to get a sheet of paper and write it on it and paste it on the wall. Okay? On their bedroom wall, by their bedside. My mentees, I know that there are a lot of things on their walls, in their bedrooms. I gave them affirmations for the year 2024, what they are supposed to recite at least 3 times every week. That one is on their wall. I taught them about some Bible scriptures. They should paste it on their wall. I taught them 2 weeks ago prayer chat, that throughout this holiday, Operation Pray 15 minutes by yourself every day, that whenever they pray it, they should go and mark their chat. My 15 minutes prayer today, did I do it in the morning? They mark morning. Did I do it in the afternoon? They mark afternoon. Did I do it in the evening? They mark evening. Okay, so on the walls of my mentees, the children in my virtual mentorship program, there are a lot of things on their walls. Okay, so they are going to be adding these resolutions to it too. So you children out here can also do likewise. Okay, RDARR, realization, determination, action, routine, and resolutions. And what are those resolutions? Number 1, I will make sure that my friends are good people or even better people than myself, because my mentor, Dr. Taye Lulu, said, if my friends are up, my life goes up. If my friends are down, my life is dragged down. So if your friends are upright, you will more likely, in the event of time, become an upright person or a more upright person. So that's resolution number 1. Number 2, I'm going to be more serious with guarding my gates. Your ears are gates, your eyes are gates. Whatever goes into your ears, into your eyes, will go into your mind and become who you are. Because it is from your heart, your mind, that decisions are made, that choices are made. So when you read, that is why when you watch a bad movie, even 3 weeks later, you are still scared. Maybe you watched a horror film. About 2 months later, when you remember that horror film, even though you are not practically watching it now, but you are afraid, you are shaking, because as you were watching that horror film a few months ago, something was downloaded into your mind. Something went into your mind and became stuck in your heart. Okay, so also, those are the ways addictions or bad habits are created. So your resolution number 2 might be, I won't go through the phone of any adult again. I won't go to their gallery. I won't go to any funny websites. That bad website that boys were talking about in school, I won't go to it again on my mommy's phone, so that we not watch bad things that will stir up dirty curiosities in my heart. Okay, so that's your resolution number 2. Resolution number 3, I'm going to become more serious with getting closer to God. Like Dr. Taye Lulu advised, I will pray more and I will become more serious with God. That's another resolution. Okay. Another resolution, I'm going to be more respectful and obedient to my parents, because the Lord told me in Ephesians 6 verse 2 and 3 that when I obey and respect my parents, I will live long and I'm going to be successful. Okay, so you write resolutions like that. Let me see if there's any other thing I can add. I have quite a list here, that I gave to my mentees. All right, be more spiritual. Okay, get closer to, okay, get better habits. There's no vacuum in life. Whenever you are stopping something bad, you must replace it with something good. Because if you leave it a vacuum, you are going to fall harder into that bad stuff. So make sure there's a replacement. You've been telling lies before, start telling the truth. You've been lazy before, start being hardworking and diligent. You've been disrespectful before, start being respectful. You've been disobedient before, start being obedient. You've lacked self-control over time, start having self-control. Things like that. Okay, I think I'm going to patiently do a detailed video on this topic. Detailed. I will upload it on my YouTube channel so that sometimes I can send it to parents who are interested for their children to watch it maybe once every month. You play it for your children. There's no way your children will listen to me and they won't be transformed. When I say these things, I'm not bragging. I know without an iota of doubt and with every fiber of conviction that God anointed me for this cause. I am anointed. The mantle is in my hands. The call is upon my life. So there's no way your child will come across me either by mentorship or watching my videos, or maybe you say, oh, I want you to be calling my children to talk to them from time to time. There's no way those children will not be transformed. They will be divinely helped because I'm an ordained voice for the children of this generation. Okay, so the acronym for stopping bad habits, negative addictions, RADAR. Capital R, realization. Capital D, determination. A, action. R, routine. And the other R, resolutions. So let them write it with capital letter. Paste it on their wall. They write RADAR, capital letters, all through an acronym. Then they write R, realization. D, determination. And everything I said with determination, going to God in prayers intentionally, they write it there. Okay. A, action. I must live in the moment. I must take one step at a time. Okay, I must set target for myself. I must not rush. They write it there. R, routine. Because I did bad things frequently, that was why it became bad habits. Now I must start doing good things so that I can form good habits. They write. Then the other are resolutions. That resolutions, they will now list it down. My resolutions. Number 1, I will make sure my friends are better people so that I can become better. My friends are good people so that I can become good. Number 2, I will get closer to God. When I'm intimate with God, God will be involved in my life and I will be able to, avoid committing errors and mistakes with my life. Number 3, I will guard my gates more intentionally by not picking the phone of adults and going through it, by not being addicted to social media, by not reading romance novels at a young age, blah, blah, blah. They just write those resolutions. Okay? Because, parents, please, let's get serious. The kind of world we lived in when we were younger, that is not the world our children have found themselves. They are living in a different world, very significantly different from the world we grew up in. When I was 13, the kind of world I was in is not the world my 13-year-old is in right now. So I know that I need to be smarter and more proactive with my parenting. I know that I failed, appearing on live by 8 a.m. because usually when I have early morning classes like that, there's always, the views are always wow. Parents are really serious. But I wasn't able to. So this is like a makeup for that one. Probably that's why the views are not much. But it doesn't matter. I will leave it here. And I know that when parents get to watch it later, they will want their children to as well watch. So I will even tag it. Should I pin it to my profile? It will just be there. You'll find it there. And if you wish, you can share it on your profile. Perhaps other parents can make their children watch so that they can also benefit. Okay? So I think that's about all. 2 Corinthians 6:17, it says, come out from among them and be made separate. Trend and vogue will pass. It's cool to be uncool. Okay, a lot of things that matter to you now, in the next 5 years, they won't matter. Don't allow trend and vogue, what your friends are doing, what is popular in school. That shouldn't be what will influence your choices. You are a citizen of Zion. You are a child of God. You are in the world, but you shouldn't be of the world. Come out from among them and be made separate. Even if you are the only one standing for what is right, God will partner with you, and one with God will be a majority. I tell my mentees this all the time. Even if something is popular in school, when you do your Jesus check, when you do your Operation Red Alert, when you do your emotion and logic factor, you should be able to know that this thing is not right, because I taught them some, factors for them to make good choices. That if you are confused about something, if you are tempted, you don't know if to do this or that, do your Jesus check, do your Operation Red Alert, or do your emotions and logic check. The emotions and logic check is that although I feel like doing this, but you want to engage your brain power. If I do this, will it profit me? What is the advantage and disadvantage of doing this? If my mommy disappears and appears here right now, will she be proud seeing me do this thing, or will she be disappointed? Can people know that I'm about to do this kind of thing? So I taught them these concepts so that they will be guided from making errors in their lives. So a lot of concepts like that, those children in my mentorship, they are, I don't even know how to qualify them. I'm loading them with value. I'm loading them intentionally, because the parents must see what they are paying for. So I'm not sparing any, whatever, in making sure that they are fortified with value. Okay, so I think that is all about overcoming bad habits and addictions. And please, I also want you to know, dear children, a lot of the things that you think are fun, that you think are interesting, that you think are exciting, they are baits from Satan. What do I mean by baits? B-A-I-T. This is another concept that my mentees know very well. A child or a person who is holding a gun, to kill the enemies, okay? And now, that gun is powerful. Whenever any enemy comes, that person can shoot because the gun is loaded. Now, somebody comes to that room and brings 3 colorful balloons, pink, yellow, and red, all blown and tied together. And that person begins to sing and, jingle those balloons like this, move those balloons, singing fanciful songs, and says, bring that and take this. And you now give that person your gun and collect those colorful balloons. Between balloons and guns, which one is more powerful? Is it not gun? But most times, Satan will bring colorful rubbish to you. He will bring things that you think are interesting to you, because he wants to take your gun. He wants to take your future. He wants to take that your beautiful ambition. He wants to take it from you. And that is why a lot of bad things that children or adolescents are doing now, they usually think that they are fun. They usually think that they are the better option. And if the parents do not get more serious with giving their children apt and important knowledge, the children will keep sinking. They will keep going down on a downward spiral. May our children not go down in Jesus' name. So resist the baits of Satan, B-A-I-T. Resist his lies. Resist his deceptions. And I told you earlier in this class that when you try to stop bad habits, to start building up good habits, 2 things will happen. Number 1, the temptation to do it will become stronger. And I gave you the example of a snake. When you try to kill a snake and you hit it the first time, it fights more fiercely. The fight becomes harder. He raises up his head. He's fighting more aggressively because he knows you are about to end him. That is how it is when you try to stop bad habits or negative addictions. Satan will program situations around your life that will give you even more opportunities to do that bad thing. And the temptation will be stronger. All right? But I told you also, change is uncomfortable. Growth is uncomfortable. It doesn't come easy. You must be able to let go. You must be able to sacrifice. I'm looking away from this thing, even though a lot of my friends are doing it for the sake of my future. And number two thing that will happen when you try to stop a bad habit is that you will feel an overwhelming sense of loss, as if you are losing something of great value, as if you are losing something important. This is also a lie from the pit of hell, because you are not losing anything of value. The reason why you are deciding to stop that habit that bad habit is because you want to start building the good habits for the sake of your future. May the Lord help us. I could go on and on and on because the flow is from deep. I can go on and on, but I don't want to waste your mommy's data. I don't want to stretch you too much. So I'm going to hang my boots here. So, dear parents, if you get to watch this video, I want you to know that as the Lord is helping me, to do this and that with your children, I want you to expose them more to me. Expose your children more to me, because there's no way you are partnering with me and your children are not benefiting. If you are not yet ready for, to register your children into my mentorship program, what about making them watch programs like this when I come on Facebook Live? I do this kind of program once every month on Facebook Live. Make sure they are ready and set for it, all right? And also, I have books. I've written 8 e-books for children. They are soft copies. So if you are buying them, I just send them to you. You print all the books as one big book. You staple and spiral bind and give to your children to read from time to time. What about my audio play series? I have 3 audio play series. The first series, I taught 10 topics. Second one, I taught 10 topics. Third one, 10 topics. 30 topics. And I think I'm the only coach in Nigeria that has done that. Yes. So let's get more serious, all right? I pray that God will help us in Jesus' name. Now, my phone number, in case you want to register your child for my mentorship, 08038408948. So God bless you. Goodbye.